Good afternoon, team. Uh, Thank you all, for coming over here for the, the Open Power and AI meetup. I am Ganeshan Narayanasamy. I'm part of IBM, developing ecosystem for the Open Power, the AI system actually. And as part of today's meetup, we are going to discuss about what is Open Power and how it got evolved. And also, I got a good set of presenters today to discuss about the various things around AI and open power. And as you see in the slide deck, we have a speaker from one of the startups as well as the Stanford faculty, Sudha Jamete. She is going to talk about all trends towards a driverless world. And the second speaker is going to be talking about the measuring progress and preparing. He's part of IBM. He's a director for Cognitive Lab. And the third one is going to be talking about the cloud, the AI cloud using Power AI. He's actually the CTO from Nimbus. And the fourth one, the leadership class computing for basic physics research, is Andrew Walker-Lode, and he's from Lawrence Berkeley Lab. And the fifth one is going to be presenting about one of our own, the deep learning framework called System ML, which runs on Power AI, using Power AI. And he's actually from IBM Research, Bertold Reinwald. And the last, not the least, the Open Power box is there on the table right now on the Open Power, the table. You can take a look at it also. That's a system which we GA'd recently around December last year. And now it has been powered everywhere, with AI, deep learning, and high performance computing. And I'm going to be one of the, the moderators here, along with the HTO team. And if you have any questions or anything, reach me out in next 2 hours. And as part of Open Power, evolvement, basically, there were like two cases where why the Open Power got evolved actually. One is the Moore's law ended actually, and the other one is everyone wants innovation in the architectures, and everyone in the sense mostly companies like Google, Mellanox, Tian, IBM, and NVIDIA, and that's how the 5 partners collaborated together and started a foundation called Open Power Foundation in 2013, and this has been growing a lot actually. And as you see here, we got nearly 330 members. In 2013, we got around like 5 members, started this foundation now. And, many people, working on, developing the ecosystem on top of IBM Power architecture. And I'm not sure, how many people know about IBM Power system. This has been, their leading edge, the servers for enterprise for the last 2 decades, 2+ decades actually. I started my career in IBM, in 1996 in Poughkeepsie as part of the Deep Blue project. You guys know about it, right? We played against Gary Kasparov, and we had a world record also around that time. I started from there, and that's how now because of the need and there are a lot of opportunities in cloud space as well as data centers. The companies wanted to have a new architecture and innovative architecture, and that's how we started our journey. And now we got around nearly 330 members as part of this ecosystem. And you see here from the chip to the the application, we have lots of members joining and and creating momentum on this Power platform. And like 328 plus members, and now I would say 330, and 33 countries involved in this foundation, and many ISVs have been partnering with us too. And this is I would say like in the last 5+ years, this has evolved a lot actually as part of the ecosystem as well as in action too. That I'm going to walk you through on that too. So as you see here, there are a lot of partners, joining with us and collaborating with us. And also, like, today's world, everyone is looking at AI. AI is a buzzword, and also there are a lot of activities also going around that. And and we have a system, that I'm going to walk you through. This is the power roadmap from 2010. We had Power 7, Power 7 Plus, and Power 8, and lately, like in late December 2017, we released the Power 9 system. It's a scale-out system. It's a kind of a cluster model, and as part of that, there are a lot of organizations from the U.S. Government lab who wanted to collaborate with us too, and this is a system. There is one of the partner brought the system here to show you all, and please do spend some time on that. And our partner is actually Penguin Computing, and the P9 system has got lots of features. One of them is actually very important for today's AI ecosystem, and that is called the NVLink. And there is a special link. IBM and NVIDIA worked together and created it. Called NVLink. And the part of the Power 9, we have NVLink 2. The second version of the NVLink added here, and this has become. I think this is actually the only system I would say in the market right now available with a lot of performance. It's not just me saying. Last week, we had an Open Power Summit as part of our Think conference in Las Vegas. And one of the Google senior manager came there and talked about, how they are using, the Open Power for their, various developmental activities. And you see this. This is from Google, about the power, more cores and threads, more memory bandwidth, and more memory. And these are all the key features for deep learning, for today's world, the deep learning and AI requirement. And this is very important. The Google is one of the topmost, the Silicon Valley company and in the world, for the world too. And they are actually, using our system for their applications. And the other one is, I did mention about this national lab. There are two labs, in US. One is Oak Ridge National Lab. The other one is Lawrence Livermore, which is 10 miles from here. They basically signed up as part of the Open Power Foundation, and also signed up with IBM and NVIDIA and Mellanox to build a massive supercomputer. There are two supercomputers going to be released this year. One is actually Summit. The other one is Sierra, and these two are going to be like I would say like number one, number two supercomputers in the world. And one of my Open Power partners and also a close friend, Jack Well, he's a director of science from Oak Ridge National Lab. He agreed to, basically present this slide, in this in today's session actually, and that's why I'm showing it off here also. So as part of this Sierra, as part of this Summit system, the Oak Ridge Lab, we are going to have 27,000, the GPUs. Can you imagine, with the 27,000 GPUs, what we can do? So many things, so many applications, so a lot of data also, like data handling also we can do. With 6,000 plus, servers, going to be installed in, as part of, the Oak Ridge Lab. And Lawrence Livermore also going to have an equivalent number of systems there. And that is locally, going to be, is getting built here. And these are the national supercomputers, for the next 2 to 3 years, going to be addressing lots of, problems, to solve a lot of problems actually in both high performance computing as well as the AI space.
A classic problem in supercomputers is you have a hyperabundance of very fast processors that can wait for memory or data to come in. Can you comment on how you resolve
NVLink. So we have a special link created between the GPU and CPU, and that will help you to provide more performance and more things actually. Okay, thanks for the question. And as part of this Open Power Foundation, we have a group called the Academia Discussion Group, and this has been there for the last 3 years. And I am the chair for this for this group, And we grew up this group, from 0 to 100 plus. And there are a lot of academicians worldwide collaborating as part of this group. And you see here from Singapore, we have members, from Singapore to, even, South Africa. And there are a lot of places like India, and like I mentioned about 33 countries, right? Many countries, we do have, academicians, collaborating with the group. What do we do on that? That I'm going to talk about it. So, as part of the group, we do provide training and exchange of experience, and it's a platform for networking, basically connecting people, with a lot of, technical knowledge and other stuff. And then engagement. Engagement in the sense, it's not just HPC community, also on AI community. This is, this meetup is also one part of, engagement. But here, we talk about, the conferences which is happening the worldwide. Like, example, every year, supercomputing conference happens in US. And, we do engage with supercomputing and, present all our, technical things, as part of the supercomputing conference, and invite many academicians as well as researchers from the world. And there is another one happens in Europe, mostly in Germany, which is called International Supercomputing. That is going to happen around June timeframe this year. We also engage with that supercomputing conference too. These are the conference not just for HPC. We do have a lot of presenters coming from the AI world too. And then the fourth one, as part of this the academic discussion group, we do work on many co-design and developmental activities. And some of my presenters here today will be talking about some of the products, applications what got evolved through this the group too. And these are all the four things we predominantly deliver to the people. Whoever wants to collaborate with us, we are welcoming you all to join. And this is actually the link for that. And as part of this meetup group, I'm going to share this link to everyone, and you all can join and collaborate with us on the training part, co-designing, developmental part, and also the networking part. A lot of people love to be networking with people. And this is a platform, for everyone, to join. And with this, I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to ask my first presenter, Sujat Jambate, to, continue the presentation. Any questions for me? About Open Power Foundation, Power 9, the box is here, and the discussion group. These are the keywords, from my presentation too. Okay, thank you. Sudha, welcome you.